Alright, so it is October 13th, 2021. I'm standing in the clover plot that we started our first video series with. As you can see, it's pretty tall. I stand in it with my foot. It's about 4 or 5 inches tall, but if you see down low enough, you see all the tops are bitten off. Deer are browsing us every night. And it's pretty much one of my best food attractants on the farm, but they just come in here after dark, so it's kind of a little hard to get in here and shoot a doe. Stand is right in that one tree that's got the yellow orange leaves. You can see behind me, here's the sorghum. You can see how tall it is. It's well over 6 feet tall. I'm 6 feet. This little group here, probably close to 9 feet. But you can see all the way around the food plot. Some spots didn't come in as thick as I wanted them to, but it's some kind of screen. Next year I know what to change. They had too much thistle in here. Tried pulling them out a little bit too late though, so they kind of choked out most of the sorghum. The fence didn't really work very well. Unfortunately, that did not hold the charge because the battery was dead in it. I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work next year. Clover's coming in patchy on this side. This was late planted, so I'm hoping in the springtime I'll just frost seed this. You can see big patches of clover in here. But it did come in with the fall, winter, spring. You can see some of the small brassicas are coming up. There's some wheat growing up in the middle here, or oat. I think it's oats. But this next year is going to be clover from this corner all the way over, all the way around, and I'm going to extend the sorghum another, I think it's 20 or 30 feet to where it's almost touching the wood line. Then I'm going to do like a funnel that comes in, because it looks like I have 2 deer trails. I'll show them to you when I get down here. You can see this stuff didn't really grow in very well. There's some patches of clover inside. So these are thistles that I sprayed inside. The thistles, you can see there's big bunches of clover in here. So this will be all clover next year. I'll come in and I'll spray this with clethodim and 2,4-DB. This whole piece down here, this was a failed attempt at trying to plant corn. None of the corn grew because the deer ate it before it got any higher than 2 feet tall. There's a couple pieces in there, but you can't really see them. This has always been a wet spot down here. So what I'm going to do is that tree there is coming out. That tree there is coming out. You can see the tubes. There's 1, 2, 3. Those are all chestnut trees. Dunstan chestnuts is the one at the end. The other 2 are just regular American chestnuts. And then I have 2 Dunstan chestnuts on the other side of the sorghum, and 2 Dunstan chestnuts right behind the tree stand. What I want to do is when I cut these 2 trees out, 1 and 2, I'm going to put 2 more or 3 more trees in this back corner of Dunstans. I might leave that evergreen. I'm going to start thinning out the trees that are in the back here so I can open that up a little bit more. And this is going to be a little chestnut grove. One thing that the deer always ate back in the day before the trees got the blight was chestnuts. So where you plant them, they will eat them. You can see here, you see the 2 trails are intersecting here. So they're coming from over here. I've seen deer coming here all the time. They walk down the field edge, and this is where my stand used to be, right here. I shot 3 8-pointers out of that stand. I got a camera down there. I'm going to get batteries in and put in. But you can see some of the thistles did get flowered. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to kill them all, and I didn't get a chance to come back in here and do it. There's some fireweed and some thistles. But what I'll do is, in the springtime, probably March, I'll come in here. I'll throw 4 or 5 bags of fertilizer and 4 or 5 bags of lime. Get this all limed here, so this top piece all the way down through here, all the way to about right here where there's 2 trailheads over here where they come out. I'll leave 5 feet from there to there so they can walk around, because they like to have areas to access. There's a log road that's right in between those two that they come out of, and they come out of the woods right behind me where we made some food plot. It didn't take very well because the ferns came back up. But what we're going to do is we're going to make this entire piece look just like that, and this is going to be a clover carpet. I'll keep this sprayed and keep it clean, mow it 2 or 3 times, and then hopefully this will be the premier spot. Also adding to it, didn't tell you about the other two, but there's a tree cage right here, and there's a tree cage right there. Those are 2 late season apple trees that are still doing really, really well. I'm going to come in, I'll fertilize them, give them a little bit more of a jump start. Got 2 or 3 trees that are right next to each other. So you got the 2 apple trees, and then you have the Dunstan chestnut. I'm going to try and take that cherry tree out, and on the other side of that bush, I'm going to put another Dunstan chestnut. And then the whole row through to the other chestnuts is going to be all chestnut trees. So we're going to take out a couple of the trees that are back here that are dead. And there's a really big bunch of trees right here, and it kind of shades out everything over here because the sun comes up to the right of this picture. So I want to try and get a couple more Dunstan chestnuts next year and plant them. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to freshen up this scrape tree. Looks like something pawed at it. So we'll get it all ready to go. I'm probably going to sit, right there's the tree stand, right here. There's a stick stand. I'll sit there probably first week. Depends on what Comatz's property does. If the deer start showing up there frequently at the end of October, beginning of November, I might sit over there. But this scrape is where that buck that I shot last year ended up coming to a couple times before I got him. So we'll see what happens. Send you out another update as soon as the springtime hits.